First of all, do you want to put your knowledge there in the world? If not, then you don't have to. But if you are called to and you're not doing it, then you're wasting your time. You don't have to.
I know, wasting a gift too.
Wasting a gift, wasting your time. And when a person does not use their gift, they start feeling like they are dim inside. It's dimming your light. If you have a lot of light and you don't share it, it can like burn. It can feel uncomfortable. If you have a calling to share something that you do with some people, even on a very small scale, it doesn't have to be big, then I recommend you go do it and find a way to do it.
2, 1, 0.
Hello and welcome to Stellar Life Podcast. I'm a guest host this time, Stephan Spencer. And the reason why I'm coming in is because my guest is actually your host, Orion Talmay, an amazing and accomplished hypnotherapist, transformational coach, and also my wife and soulmate.
First of all, your wife and David's mom. That's number one. And the rest is just the rest.
Well, you've made a lot of impactful changes in a lot of people's lives, and you've done a lot of good with your podcast as well for 9 years, if you can believe it.
I can believe it.
Yeah, whirlwind. So let's start off with something more kind of esoteric as a topic. Let's talk about some of the most profound miracles and insights, epiphanies that you've gotten in the last maybe year or several years.
In the last year, the epiphany that I got was I always had that. I always followed my heart. I left a very good job at age 20. Was it 20? Around 20, yeah. I gave a 2-week notice, and I had just a tiny bit of money, and I went to Japan. And everybody told me, "Don't do that," and I followed my heart, and I did that. And it's happened again this year, where we're in Israel right now, and it's not logical to be here. It's not a logical decision. We are at a time where a lot of people are actually leaving to places like Florida that are very comfortable. Life here is pretty intense. We're in the middle of a war. When was it? Like a day ago, we had to run for shelter, like literally run for shelter. And then you hear the
sirens went off while we were going for a walk in the park.
Yeah.
And we had to go find a shelter underground.
And I was really stressed out because I was in my little one, and then my elderly mom who walks really slow. And I was like, Mom, a little faster, because you got a minute and a half to go to come to shelter. So it seems like the wrong time and the wrong decision, but it's not. It's about following. I don't know why we're here. We were both guided to be here. You were even like, it's even not logical for you because I'm from here, but you're not. And you were really guided to come here. So it's, I don't know why. I will probably know in the future, but it's about following your heart, even when it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, following that intuition as well. And that's maybe an important distinction for our listener to understand, that intuition and following your heart are two different things, right?
How so?
Well, my understanding is intuition comes from the third eye, from that connection from, with God and that higher realm. And following your heart is that inner knowing that I think is guided by your higher self, but maybe you have some different distinction around it.
I don't make that.
Okay.
It's the same for me. Following your heart, following your intuition. Maybe because I'm a female and we're very emotional, and our like hearts and minds are more entangled. Where I feel like with people that have more masculine frame, they have more of that distinction of My heart is separate. My intuition is separate. My mind is separate. For me, most of them work together. For me, it's more mind versus heart / intuition.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's good to know, because for me, I do receive it differently and separately. It's like if I get an intuitive hit or a sensation or some sort of idea that goes against maybe logic or conventional wisdom, I feel like I'm guided to take that right turn instead of left turn or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I do it, and I find out that something amazing happens from it. Maybe I don't find out for a while, but then there's that following your heart where I feel the feeling of what it's like to make that choice.
Mm.
And it feels like, I don't know, I'm in my head a lot. I think a lot of men are in their heads a lot, and trying to get out of your head and into your heart. And then you feel the feeling of maybe, I don't know, the expansiveness, the trust, the love, the whatever that sensation is, but it's a feeling sensation versus a thought that just pops in your head out of nowhere and it's against all logic, but you just know it's right. And
Mm.
and it's not a feeling, there's no emotion there. It's just like, boom, get turn left or whatever instead of going straight.
Mm. So as long as we follow what is, I guess, connected to our higher self is the right answer. So that's one of the distinction that I got this year, and also being patient, man. Like I mean, moving to a different country is super hard. Moving to a different country at war is very, very hard. Moving to a different country at war and homeschooling in a new environment is also challenging, and not having our car that I love or the conveniences of the US.
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime like takes a day in the US and 3-4 weeks here.
Yeah.
And you can't get everything, and you're limited to like $75 of what you can buy. So yeah, I mean, on the physical level, it's more expensive here. It's, I don't know, everything is more intense. But we're here and we're closer to family, and the people are amazing most of the time. Some people are not, but there's a lot of heart. Israelis are, they call them sabra. Sabra is the sabar is cactus. So we're very prickly on the outside and soft on the inside. But what's really is really beautiful is, and I don't see it in the States as much, maybe more in like places like New York. But if somebody falls down the street or needs help, usually in the States, a lot of people will ignore them. I don't know who this person is. I'm not gonna really help. Like, of course, there are good people everywhere that will help, but in general, after being there for 20 years and from my personal experience, there is more help. Like, people will help each other. More people will help. There is like the community is really embedded in helping each other and in charity too. So those things are. I feel like the U.S. is more everyone to themselves, where
Mm-hmm.
here it's more community.
Do you remember the story about how the Amber Alert got created?
Yes, yeah. So Amber Alert is an alert that you get on your phone when a kid is being kidnapped, and it was we met that woman.
Yeah, the mother of Russell Reynolds.
What's her name?
I forget.
I forgot, but hi, mother of Russell Reynolds. I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Sweetest lady.
Yeah, she's very kind, and
She's an American lady.
yes, she said she came to Israel, and was it her child that was missing?
No, it was somebody in the community. She was there, and it happened.
She
And
she was there, some public place, and a child was missing, and the moms started alerting each other. Like one mom was shouting to another mom, was shouting, and they're all strangers, right? Was shouting to another mom, was shouting to another mom, another mom, and then they created some kind of a community alert, and within 10 minutes they found the boy, and that's how she got the idea of creating the Amber Alert, because this is the way it is now, and especially I haven't been to New York in 9/11, but or when it was I think there was like the all the electricity went off. There was like darkness or something like that. I don't know, but it's times like that where people come together and help each other. And
Oh, you're talking about when the power went out in
yes,
Manhattan for, what was it, weeks even, or
no, I
many
don't
many
think
days?
I don't remember, vaguely don't
It was
remember.
after one of the hurricanes.
Yes,
Yeah,
so and at times like that, people come together. When we are very comfortable, people are becoming too comfortable and too selfish. And Israel is one of those places that's been hit for, I mean, since the time it was born. Like there is always some kind of a, a war or missile attacks or terror attacks
or a threat just
or
looming.
a threat. Like it's always like I became really hyper vigilant here. Even with the sirens, I sometimes they do constructions nearby, and I hear the machines going like. I'm like, wait, is this a siren or is it what is it, or the wind? I'm like, is it what is that? I became a little more hyper vigilant here. So, anyways, maybe it is the nature of. It's also the nature of Jewish communities around the world to help each other.
Yeah,
But if you take that um, and you bring everybody from everywhere in the world into this melting pot of a tiny country, and you add a lot of external stresses, you get people that build stronger communities because it's primal to survive when you're a part of a tribe. And when the tribe takes care of each other, the tribe is stronger.
yeah, it is a tribe. It really is. And what that lady found by witnessing this child go from lost to found within 10 minutes or whatever it was so inspiring for her that the whole community would just jump with no notice to another member's aid, and it would galvanize the whole community instantly. And she's like, she told us that she actually said that would never happen in America.
Mm-hmm.
And so she wanted to create a system that would emulate what she saw in Israel, and that's how the Amber Alert became a thing.
Yeah, I remember when we moved to Cooper City community in Florida, and when I was a child, I saw those like old movies where the neighbors come and greet you with an apple pie. And I really wanted a neighbor to come and greet me with an apple pie, but actually, I found out that the neighbors don't really talk to each other.
No, they don't even like each
They
other.
don't. I don't know if they like each other, but they just don't talk to each other.
Oh, some
Like,
of them don't like each other.
really?
Yeah, the one across the street was saying bad stuff about the neighbor next to us on one side. Yep.
Oh, I missed that, but I really wanted an apple pie and a big welcome. I'm
Yeah.
not saying here everybody's perfect and everybody is so like, oh, come, let me hug you. But when people are in trouble, um, 99.9% of the time, you will find somebody to help. There's even a charity called Yedidim. Yedidim means friends or acquaintance. That is a free service of volunteers. If you are stuck on the side of the road or something happened, you just call them, and a volunteer anywhere in the country will come and help you as soon as they can.
Hmm.
Yeah. So those
So,
are.
what's a lesson for our listener on taking this and applying it in their life? Maybe go and find a neighbor they haven't introduced themselves to and bring an apple pie, or what?
Yeah. First, learn to make an apple pie. I made one apple pie in my life. It was very difficult.
Easier to buy one at
Buy
Whole
one
Foods.
yeah, just buy one. Um, I like creating communities. If you're able to create a small community in your area and help each other, that will be lovely. One of the things that happened in my community when we lived in Cooper City was that there were a few women, and their husbands were in the IDF reserves, and they didn't have to go and defend Israel after October 7th, but they left their families, and they left their little ones
In Florida
in Florida
to go to
to
Israel.
go to Israel to go to battle.
Right.
So the women of the community were cooking for them, taking turns cooking for them, whoever needs something, because they're little kids left behind, and moms with like no help at all. So helping them with babysitting, helping them with food. It's another thing that you do here in the community, where not everywhere, but it is a tradition in some of the communities, where a woman delivers a baby, and there is a sign up, and other women come and cook for her and take care of her. I think the idea of taking care of each other is so important. We're not meant to live in isolation.
Yeah.
We're meant to help each other. We're meant to be here for each other through the good times and the bad times. We're not meant to just be in isolation. Um, it's so important to help each other and be together and have a community. And if you don't have a community, freaking create a community.
Yeah. You know that
Create it.
there are a couple of bumper sticker kind of expressions I like in that regard. Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
And the second one is, if not now, then when, and if not you, then who.
Right.
And you've done some amazing community building with older ladies that didn't have
Oh
any.
yeah, when I built this. So when you don't have a community, you have to build a community. My mom came to visit us when we were in Florida, and she doesn't speak English, and she doesn't drive, and she was kind of, except from being with us and having a good time with us, she was pretty lonely. So I created a group of women. I just invited women, elderly women from the community, to come and have lunches together, and I called them the Bold and the Beautiful. In Florida. Do you remember that soap opera? There's a soap
No.
opera when I was a child. It was called the Bold and Beautiful. So I called them the Bold and the Beautiful.
I remember something called The Young and the Restless. Maybe that's the same show, but translated differently.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's the same show translated differently.
That's funny.
There was one guy there that I had a crush on.
On the show?
Yeah. And I was a child. Anywho, we started very small, and now there is a community there in Florida of over 100 women that are not lonely anymore, and they get.
And you created that.
And I created that, and then
Amazing.
and then I got other admins for the group to take care of it.
So they're on WhatsApp to coordinate and to keep in touch between the meetups, and
Yes.
then they meet up every month or 2 weeks or what?
Whenever they meet up. I don't follow anymore. Sometimes I'm a cop and I'm like, stop talking about politics in the group. This is just for meetups. That's all I do pretty much these days. But yeah, if you don't have a community, if there is a need for something to be happening and nobody else is doing it, then you do it. Mm-hmm. You step up, and it doesn't have to be big. You can start with like 4 people, 2 people. You gotta be brave to raise your hand and say, hey, I'm lonely. I would like to meet with some people. And it might feel a little yucky and icky. Do it anyways, because you don't know the opportunity that can open up for you. Yeah. We have a saying here: open a little hole the size of the head of a needle, like the little tip of a needle. Just do that. It's like almost God is saying to you, just do the first step. Open it a little bit, and I will open it the size of a huge gate.
Yeah, that's in the Bible.
Yes. I don't know. I don't remember the translation exactly. But that's the idea. That
The team can find the quote and add it to the show notes.
Thank you, team. Love you, team. Shout out to the team, to our team that helps us with our podcasts. By the way, this dude has two podcasts. One is Get Yourself Optimized, and the other one is Marketing Speak. Get Yourself Optimized is a little bit similar to Stellar Life, but we have two different styles. And Marketing Speak is, of course, everything to do with marketing. So go check out those podcasts because they're amazing. He's a brilliant host and a very smart man. Most of, just kidding.
Yeah.
No, really smart man, really intelligent, and his conversations are incredible.
And the smartest advice I ever got was listen to your wife.
Who gave you that advice? Your wife?
Yeah, it was in a book by, it was one of those little books of wisdom. I think it was M. Scott Peck or somebody like that who wrote these best-selling books, and it just jumped out at me, that particular page that had that advice, and it was very apropos for the moment. So, anyways, you can do this community creation thing virtually too, right? So you
so easy,
are
yes.
you are part of, you're a co-founder of a virtual mastermind group that we've been running for what, a year now, or at least half a year.
Yeah, no, not a year yet.
Yeah,
we created a mastermind and invited amazing people to be on it, just because we wanted to hang out with amazing people, and that's lovely.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
I do. I love it, and we've already gotten some wonderful feedback that it's been profoundly impactful and helpful.
Yeah, and you don't need to be a leader, and you don't need to learn and know things. You just have to bring people together, and it's going to work out on its own. It's going to take a life of its own. You will be guided, and you'll know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
And
we don't even have agendas.
we
for
don't
these.
have agendas.
It's every 2 weeks for an hour on Zoom, and we just show up. And whoever shows up, and if only a few people show up, then we have a conversation with just a few people. But it's really, it's wonderful.
It's amazing how many resources you get when you bring people together. Like, we got a web developer, we got doctors' recommendations, lots of things.
Yeah. Book recommendations, movies to watch, events to attend.
It also breaks this, like, the more we are more connected via the web, social media, the more people are lonely. So we can use those technologies and those platforms to actually bring people together instead of having them scroll on whatever, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and have the sense that they're part of something, but they're not really.
Yeah. So it's like becoming an instigator instead of just a voyeur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Participate in your life.
And in other people's lives.
Life goes by really quickly. Time goes by so fast. This is the time to participate in your life, to create the thing that you want to create. There's no other time. It might take you a long time, like my website's taken me a long time, but hey, I'm in the process of doing it.
Yeah, this is a redesign that's going to look beautiful. It's going to launch this year.
It's going to be amazing. It's already amazing. Just need a few more tweaks.
Yeah, so a few more weeks.
And spoiler alert, we're going to change the name of this podcast. Boom, 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 boom. Da-da.
Yep, but you're not going to tell you're not going to tell them what the name is?
No.
Not yet. Okay.
Nope.
All
You,
right.
you can send me emails and have some guesses about the name, or if you're watching on YouTube, just
post a comment.
Yeah, post a comment. Let's see what you think the name is going to be.
And then what about creating a not just a meetup or a group, but creating a curriculum or some sort of program or talk or something? You've done that. You've created things that you've done either as free like 7-day challenges. You've created in-person workshops and not charged for it or charged a little bit of money. You created events that were more like shorter talks and like conference presentations and things like that. What wisdom do you have to share and suggestions for folks about putting their knowledge and wisdom out there in the world?
First of all, do you want to put your knowledge there in the world? If not, then you don't have to. But if you are called to and you're not doing it, then you're wasting your time. You don't have
I know,
to.
wasting a gift too.
Wasting a gift, wasting your time. And when a person does not use their gift, they start feeling like they are dim inside. It's dimming your light. If you have a lot of light and you don't share it, it can like burn. It can feel uncomfortable. If you have a calling to share something that you do with some people, even on a very small scale, it doesn't have to be big, then I recommend you go do it and find a way to do it. If you want to do stand up, go and do open mic nights. If you want to paint, gather some people, paint together, or teach a little workshop. Honestly, what I learned about workshop is, yes, I bring a lot of content, but sometimes, like I said, it's enough that people are coming together to create magic. There is something where when like a few people's electrical fields come together and different minds come together, it creates a mastermind, whether it's called a mastermind or not. And then you combine lots of creativity, lots of ideas, and really good things can happen. And maybe you do it and you fail and it's not that great. Keep doing it. I used to be an actress a long time ago, but only recently I heard that it takes 64 auditions to get a part on average. I gave up on my acting way before I got to 64 because I hated rejection. But if you go with the mindset that you're going to try and try and try, and eventually you're going to succeed, then you're going to succeed. It's just a matter of time. You can be successful on the first try, or on the 10th try, or on the 20th try. Doesn't matter. Just keep going.
Because it's not a no, it's a not yet.
So not yet, yes. I've been told, still regret that. I've been told that because where I am and my accent, the only role I can play would be of a terrorist or something like crazy like that. And I was young and naive, and I really believed them. And years later, Gal Gadot became Wonder Woman, and not only she did not have to change her accent, the cast of Themyscira, which was that Greek city of the Amazonian women, they all learned how to speak in her Hebrew accent, so they'll match. So that's a twist. That's a way to look at things, because the if you believe in yourself and you do that step, things can happen around you. You don't have to change the world. The world will align around you to get you to wherever you need to go.
Yeah, it's like the universe conspiring to make your dreams come true.
I really want to meet Gal Gadot.
Well, if she's listening to this podcast, or maybe one of her family or friends,
I want to have a Shabbat dinner with her.
Does she
break bread together if she eats bread.
Does she live in Tel Aviv?
I mean, yeah, I think she lives here partially.
Wow.
She's kind of close, but also so far away. But things that are far away can happen.
That's right.
Many, many years ago, on my vision board, I had Dr. DeMartini and John Assaraf, and at that moment in time, they felt so far away, unreachable. I'll never get there. I'll never meet them. Not only I met Dr. DeMartini, I also interviewed him for Huffington Post. We also, I have his...
And for this podcast.
And I have his personal email. He remembers me, remembers us. And they met John Assaraf in a conference. So, Yeah, everything that seems.
And you interviewed him.
Oh yeah. That too.
Yeah, amazing.
I came in contact and I had guests on this podcast that I would never ever imagine I can I can ever be in contact with. Oh, little me with the Israeli accent. How can I meet those people? But I also had a really amazing support from you,
No,
and you pushed me at times where I gave up.
well, you never gave up because you've been running this show for 9 years.
Yeah, but I wanted to give up so many times.
You did a few
So
times.
I was like, oh man, I had enough. I don't want to do it anymore. It's too much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it
But
can feel lonely when you don't get feedback.
Yes.
So I too also rarely get feedback.
Yeah.
So it's occasionally, like once every few months, I'll get an email or you'll get an email. Oh, I love your show. I just want to tell you how great it is and how helpful it's been and whatever. We love getting those emails. We hardly ever get them. I could probably count on one hand the number of emails I've gotten in 9 years.
Can you say it? Okay, can you say it again? Go.
Yeah.
Go. Yeah. Go. Say it.
Say what?
What you just said.
Say it. Please write an email. Oh, I see now. Okay, I'm feeling sorry for myself.
No, I'm feeling sorry. We both are.
It doesn't make us feel like we're in a forest alone, but
I don't want to be alone in the forest. If you're in the forest with me, say hi.
Yeah,
send a review telling me, hey Orion, I'm here in the forest with you. I love your show. Let's go hiking together.
Let's break bread with Gal Gadot. Okay. Well, anyways, you feel free, if you are so inspired, send an email to Orion and let her know you love her show.
Or love me.
That too. I love you.
I love you too.
So let's talk about what would make the listener or the viewer surprised to hear.
When I do nonsense like what I just did. I think
something they couldn't possibly know about you, or something that would be maybe counterintuitive.
Wow, that's a hard one, Stephan. I don't know. I'm kind of an open book. I think you know everything about me. I think that you know. Oh, I love eating with chopsticks. I love eating things with chopsticks because when I went to Japan, I arrived to Japan and I didn't have much money. I used to eat like those like convenience store onigiris that were like stuck in my tummy because it was so much rice. And one time a friend of a friend invited us to a luxurious meal at this Chinese restaurant, by the fancy one, and there were a lot of nice people around the table, and they were sharing amazing food, but there were no forks. Everybody were eating with chopsticks, and I did not know how to eat with chopsticks. I was trying to get those noodles on my chopsticks, and I couldn't. I was so hungry, and everything smelled so amazing, but I was so shy because I didn't know how to eat, so I ended up going home hungry and buying an onigiri again from the convenience store. So I used to buy instant ramen and practice my chopstick skills, and now I can catch flies with my chopsticks. Not really, but I'm really good with it.
You are very good with chopsticks.
Yeah.
And you learned Japanese. You were there long enough, and you had the desire to really pick up the language.
I had more the desire to have a student visa than to pick up the language. It was quite hard for me to learn the language because in my school, there were people from China and Korea, and they already have a background in kanji and the structure of the language. And they're Asian, so they're like, Asians are really good students, and I wasn't. So I picked up some language, but I wasn't a great student.
But you were fluent enough that you could get around.
Yeah, I could get around. I can carry conversation. I forgot most of it though.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah, I would
It's
like to
just
go to
dormant.
Japan. Can we go to Japan? Japan is amazing.
What's amazing about Japan?
Oh, where would I begin? It's just I remember landing in Narita, and it felt like landing on Mars. Most of the people were shorter than me. I don't know. I think Japanese are taller these days because they eat McDonald's and stuff. So they have a lot of
That makes people taller, huh?
no, they have a lot of hormones in their food. And Western food has a lot of growth hormones. It's really, I'm serious. But so I don't know how tall Japanese people are. But many years ago, they were shorter than me. Most of them, many of them, not all of them. Um, and I remember landing in Narita, first trip abroad, and it was just like a sea of Asian people. And because I was so tired and unfamiliar with like Asian people, because back in the days didn't have many in Israel. Now they have it's more of a
melting pot.
yes, there's way more, but like everybody looked the same, and everybody was shorter than me, and I was so tired, and I didn't know where to go, and it was overwhelming. But there was a really sweet woman, young woman, who I think I was crying because I didn't know, and she walked with me to the right station like 15 minutes to show me where to go. So that was like, this is one of the things I like about Japan. Sometimes they're so kind, and they either won't talk to you because they're afraid to speak English, or they're going to be really kind and really help you. So that I love the food. I love what I love about Tokyo is that you can go to Ginza and you can see skyscrapers. And like Japan is so much more advanced than the US or any other place in the world. I think maybe Korea is the same, but or China. I don't know. Never been there. But so much more advanced technologically. And with this advanced technologically place, you can see a sumo riding a bicycle, or a geisha walking down the street. So the mix of old and new, traditional and non-traditional, is so beautiful. I love watching the Harajuku kids with their crazy costume near Yoyogi Park.
What are Harajuku kids?
Harajuku kids are kind of like punk rock. I don't know what's the name for it, but they wear really crazy costumes and makeup, and just gather near Harajuku.
Like anime type costume?
Anime, yeah. Yes. And there is a cool market there, and then you have Yoyogi Park, and it's got a big temple, and in the sakura, in the cherry blossom, everybody picnic there under the cherry blossom.
Under the cherry trees, yeah.
Yeah.
What is special about the temples there?
There is a lot of them. I remember walking down Omotosando, which is kind of like the Champs-Élysées of Japan, and there are lots of fashion houses like Issey Miyake, Saint Laurent, Gucci, whoever, all the big names. But every few fashion houses, there is a tiny Shinto temple.
Mhm.
And I remember throwing a coin and ringing the bell and clapping 3 times and praying. Just like gratitude for my guides and angels and everything.
And God.
And God, yes.
Yeah.
Of course, I believe in God. I don't know. Japan is amazing. The food is amazing. People are amazing. It's a crazy place. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was, 20 years ago that you were there,
Maybe.
right? When you were 7.
When I was 3.
So what last, I don't know, nugget of wisdom do you want to share with our listener? It could be something completely unrelated to any of the stuff we've
Don't eat
talked
McDonald's nuggets. They're
about.
awful for you. Eat organic, great food. Make sure to eat as the least pesticides and herbicides and bad food as possible. take the time to cook a healthy meal for yourself. Of course, if you don't have it accessible, like we ate more organically when we were in the States. Here, it's some things are just
Really hard to get
yeah.
organic.
It's just like also they're here, but I need to know where to get them. It's not like I have a Costco here with all the organic options they have there, or Whole Foods. Everything is way smaller, and they don't import as much.
Well, you
There's
probably
less
saw this.
variety.
Well, even at Costco, you got to be careful because I saw on Facebook or something a picture of some egg yolks that were from a farmer at a farmer's market,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just deep orange. And then Costco organic eggs, super bright yellow.
Well, that depends on the feed.
Yeah.
When you feed the chickens with lots of delicious worms, their yolks are going to be more orange. So it probably was organic, but not as
Not as nutrient dense.
Yes.
Yeah. So even if it says organic on the label, doesn't mean that it's super high quality.
Yeah, but it's better than none.
Yeah.
I think it's better than none. Even if I know a lot of people say, oh, organic, they're cheating. It's not always organic. But even if it's less, that's better too. Because less is more. So yeah, take care of your body. Take care of
yeah, it's a temple, to go back to this, clap 3 times.
Right. Take
Say
care
a
of your
prayer.
mind. Take care of your body. I know we don't do it 24/7, but when you have moments of remembrance, just remember to drink water, eat yummy food that is healthy and good for you, and pray and connect however you like to your higher self and to God, source, universe, whatever you connect to, and have a stellar life.
And don't watch junk on TV.
Something, you know what? I do feel like sometimes it's just alright to watch junk on TV.
At least not the stuff that is horrific.
Yeah, no,
That's not. That's like a bad virus in your, a bad
yeah, it's
computer
like
virus in your
yeah.
brain.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well,
thank you, Mr. Spencer. I appreciate you interviewing me for Stellar Life Podcast. It's going to be something else soon.
Mm-hmm. And where can people find you and follow you and learn from you?
Well, I have a great podcast that you're listening to. So thank you for being here, and thank you for being my audience, and thank you for listening.
Yeah. But you're also on Instagram.
I really love you.
I love you too.
Yes, and I love you, listeners. Yes, I'm on Instagram at Orion.Talmay. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm not that active in social media right now, but you can reach me there too. And of course, you can go to my website, orionsmethod.com, and you can connect with me there.
All right. Well, thank you, Orion. We'll catch you on the next episode, and Orion will be your host.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.